This seems like a good place to walk around for a bit and think things over. This is quite the hiking trail. Let me know in the comments, would you rather do this trail on foot, in a truck or SUV, or on a adventure bike? Let me step over here, spin around so you can see the next little section. I have to go up here. A lot of sun glare, I'm not sure if you can see that, but pretty narrow and steep. Let's go back to over here. So if you've been watching our videos over the past several weeks, you know we've been looking for a new off-road rig to use for our adventures here on the channel. And there are several criteria that we're considering to choose the next vehicle. So seemed like a nice day, and this seemed like a nice place to take a walk, think about those criteria. I'll share the criteria with you, and maybe by the end of the walk I'll have come to a decision. So let's head up the trail a little more and see what we see. So if you've seen those last few videos, you know we're considering a pretty wide range of vehicles. And I'm out of breath a little bit, but if you haven't seen those videos and you want to get caught up, be sure to take a minute, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That way you can get caught up on those videos, which will be in a playlist for search for the next venture rig. And you'll be able to keep up to date with actually what vehicle we choose, how we modify it, and where we take it off-road. So again, apologize. I want to apologize. One, for not being able to speak, but two, for if the camera's a little shaky, I do not have a tripod or anything. Doing this handheld and kind of spur of the moment, so bear with me. I'm going to hike a little more. Then we'll talk about the four main criteria that we're using to choose this next adventure rig. All right, well, I found somewhere to rest the phone, and it's a good place to stop and tell you the four criteria. They are price, the size of the vehicle, ease of maintenance and modifications, and the long-term reliability of the vehicle. Price is fairly self-explanatory. We would prefer not to finance the next venture rig. Paying a lot of money for something and financing it, and then still spending money to modify it, potentially take it off-road and cause damage to it. It's not something that's in our budget to do. You know, there's plenty of channels that'll take a brand new or almost new rig and replace the engine, replace the whole suspension, and build something brand new that's highly modified. That's not what our channel is. That's not what definitely it's not what our budget is. So price, if we don't finance it, is definitely a major consideration. Size of the vehicle, give you some context on that. We had both a 2-door Wrangler and a 4-door Wrangler that we've used for off-roading. And when we went from the 2-door to the 4-door, I found that I definitely preferred the two-door for off-roading. Just felt like it's more nimble, more able to go different places. It's easier to know where the back tires are, and I'm sure driving a bigger rig over a longer term, I would get a better feel for it. But just my initial thoughts are that I'd prefer something smaller for off-roading. We are considering some pickup trucks as the next off-road rig, and in terms of size, the only reason why we would go to a pickup truck is that we are potentially selling our Tuska teardrop camper, our Tuska hitchhiker, in order to be able to buy this new venture rig. And if we don't have that as a camping option, the reason we buy a pickup truck is that eventually we'd be able to do something in the bed, whether it be an alu cab or something similar to that, to use the pickup truck as both an off-roading rig and as our camping option. So that's why we would consider going up to a pickup truck. We've also considered size-wise going opposite end of the spectrum, going to a dual sport motorcycle. And the reason why we'd consider, or I should say I'd consider that, since I'd be the one riding it, is budget also. We can get a brand new dual sport, fully outfitted out, for the same price. We can get a much older used either Jeep or Toyota Tacoma, something like that, and you'll have all the reliability that comes with having something brand new. Definitely has a big fun factor. The downsides of the dual sport are obviously more increased exposure to the elements and increased wear and tear, on me. Not going into long history, but I have had back surgery before, so it's definitely something I am conscious of. But then again, one of the advantages of the dual sport is portability. If I buy something older and I want to ride trails in Colorado, I would have to drive the rig that's going to be used for off-roading from where I am in California to Colorado. It's a lot of wear and tear on something that would be older and used. And with a dual sport, I can get the receiver hitch rack that mounts the dual sport sideways across the back of the vehicle, and I can put that on our Renegade, our Jeep Renegade, and take that to Colorado in comfort, and then be able to ride whatever trails I want there without putting wear and tear, off-road wear and tear on the Renegade, but having the dual sport to have fun with. So definitely, dual sport does have its advantages. In terms of the third criteria, ease of maintenance and ease of modifications, dual sport is definitely ranks high in that. Easy maintenance and wouldn't need a lot of modifications, but any modifications that it needs, such as skid plate or any kind of rack or anything, are pretty easy to do. Second to that for modifications and maintenance would probably be an older Jeep. The aftermarket for Jeep parts and modifications is, from my experience, it's vastly superior to any other brand. I know there's a big aftermarket for Toyota and other brands as well, but the Jeep aftermarket for any kind of part you could think of is vastly superior in my opinion. So that's definitely a consideration. And then for the last consideration, the long-term reliability, one thing that is a factor in this decision, for the first time on this channel, this rig will not also need to serve as a daily driver. Both of the Jeep Wranglers we had on the channel in the past, which we off-roaded, were also daily drivers. So it's definitely a big consideration when you're, taking a rig off-road and you need to drive it the next day or the next week, for work. So it's definitely a big part of the decision. It's a little bit less of a factor than it otherwise would have been, because this rig that we buy will not also be a daily driver. So it's definitely going to something we're going to take into account. If you are curious, I've been on the Montserrat Mountain Preserve trails. There's a trail system here. It's a couple miles. The trails are strenuous. I can definitely attest to that. We're in Fallbrook, California, which is just outside of Temecula. And definitely a pretty place to hike. I did not do the whole trail. I will have to come back another time and do the whole trail because it is beautiful. But I think I have come to a decision on the vehicle that I want to try to find. Now it's just a matter of finding one that's available, and hopefully I can find one that's also in my price range. And so stay tuned. Remember to subscribe so you can keep up with this journey, and then, like I said, eventually see what rig we buy, how we modify it, and where we take it off-road. And if you haven't followed this channel in the past, Moab is definitely on the list. We did not do Moab when we took our two-door Jeep to Colorado, and it's something I wish we had done then, but we're going to do it with this next vehicle. So there'll definitely be a lot to look forward to once we get this process underway. And subscribe, and I'll see you next week.